Hi, my friends. Today I want to present you a new story. Enjoy watching it.
Hello, my name is Samuel. Jake's house pulsed with the warmth of anticipation. It wasn't crowded yet, just the quiet hum of preparation, the kind I always enjoyed. Streamers half hung, chairs needing to be unfolded, music speakers waiting to be tested. I balanced a stack of chairs in my arms, glad to help. After all, Jake had been like a brother to me since college. Kelly was supposed to come early too, but she texted me an hour ago. I'll be there later with the girls. Don't start without me. Typical Kelly, always fashionably late, always craving that grand entrance where heads turned. I smiled faintly, though lately, that smile had grown thinner. As I passed the kitchen, a burst of laughter made me pause. The bathroom door, just barely cracked open, spilled out Kelly's unmistakable voice. At first, I thought nothing of it, until the words themselves reached me. So I'll say, this isn't working anymore. I can't pretend. It's over, and you guys record it. Make sure you catch his face. The chair slid from my grip, hitting the floor with a dull thud. My heart slammed against my ribs. I leaned closer, hardly breathing. Jessica's voice followed, high-pitched with excitement. Oh my God, this is going to be hilarious. He'll freak out. Men always do. Mia chimed in, her tone sharp with mischief. My cousin's boyfriend begged on his knees when she pulled this stunt. Bought her a vacation and a designer bag. It works every time. The sound of Kelly's laugh, my Kelly, pierced me. Samuel's too comfortable lately. This will wake him up. He loves me too much to just walk away. My throat tightened, eyes burning. For a moment, I couldn't move. I imagined the scene, a living room full of friends, her voice ringing out, the laughter, the phones raised to capture my humiliation. My love twisted into entertainment. Then Amanda, with her calm, poisonous certainty, wait until the party peaks. 9 o'clock. Perfect drama. The door creaked, footsteps approaching. I stumbled back into the kitchen, forcing myself to set the chairs down as if nothing had happened. When they emerged, their laughter was sweet as syrup, their eyes sharp with secrets. Kelly bounced over, kissing my cheek. Sorry I'm late, babe. Isn't tonight going to be unforgettable? I forced a smile, though inside, something cracked open. Yes, I thought bitterly. Unforgettable, but not the way you planned. By 9 o'clock, the house was alive with noise. Music throbbed through the walls, glasses clinked, laughter spilled across every corner. I stood near the mantel, drink untouched, pretending to listen to Jake. But my eyes kept drifting toward Kelly, radiant in her red dress, circling the crowd like a queen waiting to strike. The moment came with theatrical precision. Kelly clapped her hands, her smile glittering under the lights. Everyone, can I have your attention? The room hushed. Phones instinctively lifted, ready for whatever spectacle she had planned. My chest tightened, but I steadied my breathing. Kelly's eyes found mine, softened with a deceptive tenderness. Samuel, she said, her voice trembling with practiced drama. This isn't working anymore. I can't pretend we're happy. So, it's over. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. Jessica whispered loudly, oh my God, he's going to lose it. All eyes pinned me, expecting pleading, tears, perhaps a desperate declaration of love. I swallowed hard, heart pounding, but I let silence stretch until it hurt. Then, calmly, I said, thank you, Kelly, for your honesty. I wish you the best. Her smile froze. Murmurs spread like wildfire. That's all, she stammered, a nervous laugh breaking through. Yes, I replied softly. If this is what you want, I won't stand in your way. The air shifted. Instead of laughter, confusion hung heavy. Phones wavered, recording what was no longer entertainment but something painfully real. Tears welled in Kelly's eyes, not rehearsed this time. You're not even going to fight for me. I shook my head, my voice barely above a whisper. Love isn't a performance, Kelly. If you think it is, then maybe you never knew me. Silence swallowed the room. Where there should have been laughter, there was only the echo of her broken plan. The silence after my words clung to the air, thick and suffocating. Kelly's lips trembled as though she wanted to recover her performance, but the cracks had already shown. A whisper from the corner broke the tension. Jessica hissed, forgetting the volume of her own voice. This isn't how it was supposed to go. Heads turned sharply toward her. Someone near the back frowned. Wait, what do you mean supposed to go? Mia, pale and jittery, tried to snatch Jessica's arm. "Shut up," she whispered harshly, but it was too late. Curiosity spread like fire. A boy with his phone still recording asked, "Hold up, was this staged?" The room shifted, eyes darting, murmurs overlapping. Kelly's face drained of color. "No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous." But her voice quavered, betraying her. Amanda rolled her eyes, muttering under her breath, "We told you not to mess it up." Her words landed like a hammer. Gasps erupted. Phones rose higher, screens glowing with proof that this spectacle had been nothing but a cruel setup. The crowd's sympathy turned, no longer toward Kelly, but toward me. I stood frozen, throat tight, watching the dominoes fall. I had prepared myself for humiliation, but not for this. Their betrayal laid bare for everyone to see. Jake, stepping forward, said what others were thinking. "You mean, you plan to humiliate Samuel, record him for fun?" His voice shook with disgust. Kelly's tears spilled, this time raw. It was just a stupid idea, I didn't mean. But her friends had already begun backing away, shaking their heads, muttering excuses. The loyalty that had fueled her bravado evaporated in an instant. The crowd didn't laugh now. Instead, pity filled their eyes when they looked at me, and sharp condemnation when they looked at her. I blinked hard, fighting tears I hadn't expected. What hurt most wasn't the exposure itself, but realizing how little I had meant to someone I had loved so fiercely. And in that heavy silence, Kelly's empire of attention crumbled, one judgmental stare at a time. The party had dissolved into whispers by the time I stepped outside. The night air hit me like a balm, cool against the storm still roaring in my chest. Behind me, the music had gone hollow, laughter replaced with uneasy murmurs. "Samuel, wait!" Her voice cracked through the night. I turned slowly to see Kelly rushing down the steps, heels clattering, mascara streaking her cheeks. She looked nothing like the triumphant queen from an hour ago, only a frightened girl clutching at something slipping away. She grabbed my sleeve, her tears soaking the fabric. "I'm sorry. Please, you have to believe me. I only did it because they said you were too distant, that you needed a wake-up call. I was scared of losing you." I pulled my arm free, my throat tightening. "Scared? Kelly, what you planned wasn't about fear. It was about control, about turning love into a stage." Her sobs shook her shoulders. "I didn't want to humiliate you. I just thought, if you showed everyone how much you loved me." I cut her off, voice breaking despite myself. By begging? By crying in front of strangers? That's not love. That's manipulation. For a moment, silence hung between us, heavy as lead. I could see the realization sinking into her eyes, the sharp sting of consequences she hadn't imagined. "Please, Samuel," she whispered, voice frayed. "Give me one more chance." I shook my head, my vision blurring with tears I couldn't stop. "No, trust isn't something you gamble with. You didn't just break my heart tonight, you mocked it." Her knees buckled, and she fell onto the cold steps, sobbing into her hands. The sound tore at me, but I forced myself to turn away. Some endings aren't loud. Some are quiet, sealed by the soft click of a door closing, and the weight of love that could not survive betrayal. Months passed, and the memory of that night dulled like an old scar, still visible, but no longer burning. Kelly's name occasionally drifted through whispers, always followed by pity. Her circle dissolved, her reputation fractured. I never sought revenge. Life had already given her more than enough. For me, healing came slowly. At first, it was just quiet mornings, coffee in hand, silence in place of arguments. Then came small joys, long walks, laughter with Jake, rediscovering the man I had forgotten in the shadow of someone else's approval. It was at a bookstore one rainy afternoon that I met Rebecca. She stood in the aisle of classics, arguing gently with the clerk about whether love stories needed tragic endings. I couldn't help but smile. "You sound certain," I teased. She looked up, her eyes bright. "That's because I am. Real love isn't about tests or games. It's about trust. Without it, you have nothing." Her words cut straight through me, not with pain, but with clarity. Weeks turned into months, conversations into dinners, and dinners into something steadier. With Rebecca, there were no performances, no hidden scripts, only the quiet certainty of being seen and respected. One evening, as the sun sank behind the city skyline, she slipped her hand into mine. "You're not afraid anymore, are you?" she asked softly. I smiled, tears prickling my eyes. "No, This time, it feels like the beginning. Not the performance of love, but the truth of it. And for the first time in a long while, I believed in tomorrow.
Friends, what do you think of this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Would you like more stories? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any videos. See you tomorrow.